Let's see if this bad boy works. See how beefed up I am right now? I'm just going to let you guys know that they kicked us off last time because what I did was I screwed this up. I guess I should take a copywriting class. Basically, we were doing this last time and I was talking about the Olympics and I showed a video of the Olympics and I just, live stream, shared screen, all that kind of stuff. And they kicked it off. So I'm pretty bummed about that. Some updates I want to talk about with you guys in my life, in my personally fantastic life. And right now I'm naked because I'm not really naked. I'm wearing shorts because it's like 100 degrees here in Rhode Island and this room doesn't have air conditioning, or at least the office is shut down and they're not running any air conditioning. But basically, today I just broke a lifetime record with my double overhanded deadlift, no straps. And you can see the skin starting to come off my thumbs and my hands and stuff like that because I'm literally lifting so heavy. And I feel fucking amazing. Like I've been traveling the world, sleeping like shit, eating like shit. Like nothing's really that good. Like if you look in this bag, I come to the office every day. It's full of trash, of food that I eat in between sessions. I'm not getting the greatest of sleep. I'm here with my brother and his kids. The kids are crying all the time, which is nuts. And I'm literally somehow able to break lifetime records in the gym. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like getting older and like just the accumulation of time. My programming is better. I'm smarter than I have ever been before when it comes to programming. Like I used to do 8 sets of 4. Now I'm down to 6 sets of 4. And I'm very smart about it. And I've been very intentional about my negatives, all that kind of stuff. And I've been really good with my supplements. I've been on Strength X2 every single day, 1 to 2 scoops, depending on how much running I'm doing. I'm still logging 8 to 10 miles every other day running. So that usually whacks the shit out of my strength, but I'm somehow able to put it all together. I'm pumped. I mean, basically what I'm telling you guys right now, if you can look at the size of my muscles, I'm going to beat the shit out of you guys this season. I was able to hold a faster pace just using my arms at this weight on the skier than I do my entire body when I was peaking getting ready for world championships. And I was 20 pounds lighter. That's how big of a difference this stuff is. But enough about me and my training. Some notes I wanted to get into with you guys. I feel like this has like been talked about too much to get into really big depth, but I feel like it's a responsibility of myself and some of the other people in the space to talk about this because of the gravity of it. Like it's the first of its kind and it's really heavy in the way that it's probably freaking a ton of people out. It's probably going to do a lot of damage to a space that we're all really invested in. But I think if we look at it correctly, it might make things better. And that's because in the CrossFit Games, the first event, a guy named Lazar, who's a freak. I have a lot of respect for the guy. I don't think we competed together the same year I went to the games, but he was considered this absolute beast. He would win a lot of high level events. Like he just had won, I think, which was the French Throwdown, which qualified you for the games. Like he was a star athlete. Not that being anything less than a star athlete would make it any worse or better, but he was a really talented guy and he was really well known for his endurance. And he drowned during an event where I believe it was 3.5 miles of running and 800 meters of swimming. And, there's a bunch of different ways to look at this thing. One is obviously that it's a tragedy. It's like a freak tragedy. I mean, like there's no way to avoid that. But there's a lot of blame going at, the event. And I just want to say that I studied it because I have my own event where we have swimming in it. And I wanted to study it not only from the standpoint to find out what happened, but how to prevent it from happening in our event. And if you look at it, like it was just one of these kind of 1 in a million kind of things where he was less than a football field from the waters, like the shore. That's insane to make it 800 meters in a swim and be less than 100 meters from the finish line and have that happen is just a freak accident. And then if you watch the video and you really do look at it, he's in the front pack. So there's more eyes on him than any other group of people. And then he's surrounded within 50 to 75 feet of two paddleboarders on each side. And it's just this 1 in a million freak chance that he was not being seen or paid attention to. Because ideally in a situation like that, that's a perfect setup. You have two people on either side that could potentially come in and protect the guy. He's in the front pack with getting the most amount of attention. You'd be freaked out about the people who are in the middle of the lake. But I mean, it just happened. And I don't know what it was because the guy's got tremendous endurance, and 800 meters is not a long swim. 3.5 miles is not a long run. Was it too hot? I don't think so. Just to give you guys some perspective, you do an Ironman, you're doing a 2.5 mile swim. So you're going to have to cover 5 times the amount of distance. And there are thousands of people in the water. There was less than, I think, 80 people in the water. So to have that amount of, I think there was 12 lifeguards or attendees in the water, and cameras everywhere because it's a very high level event. And he just wasn't seen. And I will admit, in passing, I was doing computer work. I went to see the start of the event and watched it live. And there in the front pack was a guy, and I cannot promise that it was him because I wasn't paying close enough attention, who was doing breaststroke at the front of the pack. And I don't know if it was him, but I thought it was very odd to see an athlete of these caliber doing breaststroke on such a short swim. And the person was doing it, and I don't know if it was him, but I'll give you also another crazy example. If he yeah, okay, so Peter, I cannot say I know anything about this guy. I'm talking about this strictly from an analytical standpoint, in the way that it's important for people to observe this so that it doesn't happen again. If I had to weigh in, truly, I believe something had happened to him that was a 1 in a million chance also. This is this freak fit guy who was just maybe having an issue where his heart was having an issue. I mean, I was looking this up. I remember this runner right here. There was a guy named Ryan Shea during the 2007 Olympic trials, 5.5 miles in, and you got to figure these guys are running 5-minute miles, if not faster. He had a heart attack and he died. And that's the same exact thing that could have happened to this guy. They may look at him and say that 3.5 mile run in the middle of the water would be about 1-to-1 in the same amount of time that this guy was running, Ryan Shea, and this guy was swimming, Lazar, and something just happened. Because it's very uncommon for somebody who is at this level of fitness to be doing like a breaststroke in an event like that. And yeah, I think it's a freak accident. I mean, I'll give you guys another example. These are 2 freak things that happened to me in my own career. I was doing swim run world championships and in Stockholm, Sweden, in the Swedish archipelago, where you do 39 miles of running and 6 miles of swimming across all these. There is almost no people in the water paying attention to you. There may be 0 at certain points. And I recognized right then and there in some of my levels of exhaustion, like if things went south for me, there was no help. And I had to accept that because of the level the event was. I mean, this was not a half-mile swim with hundreds of thousands of people watching live, with TV cameras everywhere, drones, people in the water. And I wasn't necessarily struggling and going down, but I was exhausted. And I prepared myself for the fact that there was a freak chance that I could actually have that accident happen. There'd be nobody there. And I almost got hit by a boat one time. Like, that was one of these kind of things that was like, it was just part of the game. You compete, you recognize there's risk. Another time we were doing this event called Superhero Scramble, and this is much more realistic to the event that just happened. Myself and this guy named Bracken Cracker had just competed and finished this event, and we were sitting at the edge of the water, and there was a guy in the middle of the water, and he literally just started drowning in front of us, and there was nobody there to help him. Nobody. And we swam out there and got this guy and brought him back. And this is another mass participation event. And it was just one of these kind of things where it was like, it's not supposed to happen, but it did. And the fact that this guy went out there and competed like this, and it just was a 1 in a million chance of being right at the finish line, surrounded by people, being one of the fittest guys there, if not like primed to be top 3 for this event alone. And it just happened. So I guess I just really wanted to weigh in and say that, I'm super sorry and sad for the entire community, his family, and also say that people got to recognize that at these kind of events, when you're pushing your absolute limits, risks and shitty things happen. It just does, and it's not what any of us want to hear, but it's just the risk that you put yourself into when you do these kind of sports. And I guarantee nobody thought that this was going to happen, but to think that the CrossFit Games gone 15 years and there's been so few incidents it's something that's a spectacle to just be in awe at. And the first time something like this happens, it's crazy. I remember also one year that I think it was 2014 Spartan Race World Championships, the timing chips of where you enter the water and you exit the water, somebody went missing and did not come out through the timing chip. I straight up watched the CEO jump in the water looking, and it was just this freak accident. And they ended up finding out that the guy didn't get out of the water in the right area, and he just walked off course. It was a panic that even I was in, because I was like, oh my gosh, did something happen? So I'm sorry. It super sucks. And I'm sure there's going to be way more people talking about it. I personally, in the events that we're going to be having coming up at Battle Bunker, am already designing things that are creating a whole nother level of safety that I didn't even try to encounter before. So it will change things. And I'm sorry to the whole community. And I just wanted to share about it and just say, like, listen, it's a tragedy, but it's at this point about awareness rather than being there and being angry. It's just about awareness and get better. I think another part of this conversation is you do have to celebrate the athletes that are continuing to move forward and like really give it to him for some more supporting the community, pushing forward. I think his family gave kind of the go ahead to everybody else. His brother's there competing. So I will talk about some of the more interesting things that are going on in CrossFit right now. There's a guy that nobody really thought about was going to be up at the top of the food chain who's leading right now. Let's see what his name is. Let's go games. I want to go back. Let's go this, go that. So I'm going to share the screen real quick and talk about some things that I've been. Benji, I just want to say, dude, PR'd my deadlift today. Ugh. I'm thick, dude, right now. I'm not even focusing on aesthetics. I'm just focusing on being beautiful. Okay, entire screen. Boom. Boom. Check these scores out real quick. We're going to start out with dudes. This guy right here, I think I've seen him before, James Bragu. Honestly, just an outlier. I don't know if it's just because of the arrangement of events, but an outlier kind of thing. Freaky. Roman Krenikov, like obviously everyone expected him to do really well. Brent Fikowski in a good spot. Jason Hopper, not bad. Ricky Garrard is something I want to talk about. Now, I talked a lot of shit about the mile, saying that I would smoke these guys. I still would, but I retract some of my information. He ran a 4:55 mile before going into everything else. I right now would run maybe like a 4:45, 4:47 mile, like where I'm not really in shape. Push me forward, maybe a 4:38 mile. So I beat him by maybe 20 seconds, which I said before, but that was impressive, man. That was impressive. And I'm pumped for the guy. I know he's got a bad cloud over his name, but hey, good for him. Also, I want to give a shout out to Luke Parker. He took second in this event. I like that guy. He's been always cool. But in the top 10, some pretty typical people. Patrick Vellner there. Let's go over to the. Come on, get out of here. What's going on? Come on, baby. Let's go check out the chicks. Let's go check out the chicks, baby. Boom. T. Claire Toomey, dominant. First, seventh, first. I told you guys earlier that you don't want to piss off Mama Bear. She ended up losing the Rogue Invitational to is it Laura Horvath? Yeah. She's not even in visibility, is she? Is Laura not competing? Girl ain't even here. Haley Adams, we knew that she was going to come back and be badass. Emily, badass. Bethany, proud of her. I always liked that chick. Amy Kringle, first year appearance, great scores. Let's see if anybody else in here is worth mentioning. Brooke Wells, 17th. Alexis, a lot of people pegged her to be one of the top. And let's see if there's any other names in here. Spiegel, 26th. She's not really an endurance athlete, and I haven't seen many events besides that. Where the hell is Laura Horvath? Am I crazy? Can somebody give me some feedback here? What's going on? Parker, if you want to jump in here, it'd be great to catch up with you, dude. I haven't talked to you in like 6 months. Shoot me a text if you want to come in. Casual. Headed to Columbia right now. I can for like 10 minutes. All right, here. I'm going to share. I'm going to invites. Click this. Boom, boom. Okay, so I'm going to go to Gmail. I'm going to email myself this, and I'm going to get some people on here so we can shoot the shit. Boom. Okay. Boom. Okay, guys, wait a second. Be a little patient for me here. I cannot stop sweating, dude. My ass is sweating. Everything is sweating. I'm just not good at summertime. I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I'm just going to be straight and say that I'm not really into this whole weather thing. Got to get in. Sent it to Parker. Parker loves to chat. Parker will literally knock you guys on your asses. I could sit back and put my phone on mute, leave the room, all that kind of stuff. Parker would not know that I had abandoned them. All right. So did Jeff Adler. Yeah, Laura dropped. Laura withdrew. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's like, what do you do in a tragic event like that? Like, do you honor the guy by continuing to compete, or do you pull out to give some breath to the situation? And I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Come to Texas and you won't have to sweat at all. Caleb Yates, dude. I want everyone to know that Caleb Yates basically is a baked potato with legs. He's this full-bodied, fat-bodied creature who's a friend of ours. He's part of the House family. He's on the House Summer Shred Challenge, the athlete camp. He says that he's getting lots of PRs, which is, I don't know. He hasn't posted anything. He's been hiding a lot. Part of me thinks he's getting fat. And Caleb, if you want to address this, we're here to talk. We've got actually a whole room full of people that want to really just witness what you got to say. Just like sex, never pull out. Nice. Classic comment. You know what I want to address real quick? You guys are like fans. You guys are fans of Savon. Supposedly, Savon was insinuating that I was taking steroids. And basically, what he's done now is built an empire. I never really thought of Savon being that smart of a guy. I always thought of him as just as somebody who likes to talk more than everybody else. And now that he's pushed my buttons, I'm going to spend the rest of my career absolutely destroying that little midget piece of shit. Because anybody who tries to accuse me of taking performance enhancers is now on the death end of my stick. I'm going to bring wrath down on that motherfucker with a hammer of goddamn pain behind it. And I'm going to dominate that little shitbag.
Are we
Sorry,
talking
Kyle.
about you taking performance enhancers? Because I think you're forgetting that you have McDonald's McCafes and whatever the McFlurries are like 3 times a week. So
You know
you can
those are
call those
performance
performance
enhancers.
enhancers.
They definitely are. You know what we've encountered is that I think we found out that McDonald's McFlurries don't have any ice cream. McDonald's
Yeah, it's fake ice cream. It's faux fake ice
McFlurry.
cream.
What are the ingredients?
Oh my God! Don't that we could spend a podcast talking about just that.
Dude, you know what? Do you remember Gunter? You touch my tra la la, my ding ding dong.
I ding
You know
ding
that?
dong. You touch my tread. Yeah.
Um, yeah. What's that? Do you remember that
Yes.
guy?
Yeah, of course I do.
Dude, so
Everyone
I,
remembers him.
I went down a rabbit hole looking for this guy the other day. There's no information on him whatsoever. Like, how can you have hits at that level and have no information? Like, do you remember Richard Simmons, the gym guy who was like the original online trainer?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just recently died, like 2 weeks
He
ago.
did die, but he disappeared from the world for like 20 years and no one could figure out what happened to him. And this has kind of happened to Gunter. Yeah. Yeah.
So we can't go into the music business.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm gonna do a whole podcast on trying to research this guy. Just throwing it out there.
What ethnicity is he? Do we know?
He's Swedish, dude. He's Swedish and he owns nightclubs in like it starts with an M. What's a famous town in Sweden? But I'm just saying, like,
He must have fallen off hard.
no, dude. I think he just might be so rich. Like, he probably made a couple $1 billion off of those songs alone. Like, do
I
you
don't know.
remember
This
that?
this happens to people. They get famous. There's a homeless guy down the street from me, and he used to be a professional UFC fighter, and now he just sits on the
He's
side.
homeless.
Yeah, I've Googled him. I can't
What's his
remember his
name?
name right now. I can't remember his name. He's like,
Is,
if you look up, there's this boxing company that he did a photo shoot, and then I went down a rabbit hole of looking at his fights. Like he was actually legit. Just got into drugs and just disappeared, and now he's like trying to recover. This happens to people with fame.
He's good.
Stick stick to McFlurries.
I'm just gonna
No
tell you, dude.
crack.
I'm gonna move to Crestline. People are never gonna hear from me again. I kind of want. Are you paying attention to the CrossFit Games at all, except for what happened after the big bad?
To be honest, not exactly. I saw a little bit of the women's. Saw a little bit of the men's. I saw like Brandon Luckett take a heat or maybe an event win. The 50 rope climb, skier, and deadlift thing was crazy.
What is that?
I'm probably gonna butcher this, but they had some deal where they had to do 50 cal ski, like 6 or 8 rope climbs, and then like a deadlift ladder. And it was like 10 deadlifts, move up, 10 deadlifts, move up. The deadlift ladder, I don't know. It looked brutal, especially because we just done that deadlift ladder in rally. That was that looked hard. There was one guy that was like 50 reps behind and barely made the time cap by like 2 seconds, and he was from New Zealand, and it was a pretty big. I thought it was a cool moment. Everyone's rooting him on. He has like 2 seconds and like one lift left, and just like barely gets across the line. I still kind of super disappointed by the whole thing they did yesterday morning, but we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of a little bit heavy. I don't really want to talk on it because of it. You're gonna become somebody's enemy by at least mentioning it. I just
For sure.
kind of made a blanket statement that I said it was a tragedy, and I came up with some examples of where it's not necessarily freakishly uncommon. Like, don't you remember last year 2 people died during I think it was like the Irish or the Wales Ironman?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in one when someone died in Galveston 2 years ago. I was in the water.
We were both there.
Yeah, that's right, Parker. We were both there. And like
Yeah.
I even remember there being some commotion, like on the swim, kind of down across from me. And it could have just been someone panicking, but even that, like it drew a crowd of like 5 or 6 other swimmers, and they're all
Yeah.
freaking out, trying to get a kayak over there. And like I'm not saying it was the guy that passed away, but it's like it can happen.
Let's get a little bit of an update, dude. Last time we talked, you were like potentially going to sign up for this 100-miler. Now you're 100% signed up for this 100-miler. Have you been doing the work, or are you just talking it?
Dude, the last 6 days, I've kicked myself into shape. I've probably logged 30 miles, and I'm doing a dead heat of the day, except for this morning. And I feel good. Now that I've mentally conquered one with you and Parker by my side, I'm just ready to take this one on. I've done
remember, I remember trying to get you into your truck and then driving you home. I said, "When's the next one?" You were like, "I'm never fucking doing another one." You were so angry.
Dude, that was terrible. Thank God for you guys. I don't think I would have gotten through it, but I can't believe we're doing another one. But I feel good. I'm doing more time on the Stairmaster now. I've probably climbed 6,000 feet on the Stairmaster in the last 2 days. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, dude, Caleb decided to show up.
Whoa, mustache!
What's up?
Oh
the
my
whole crew.
gosh, dude, Caleb, where the fuck have you been?
I've just been out and about, dying in the Texas heat.
Can you guys you guys are three of my closest friends. You all live in Texas. I consider you to be high value people, not only from your character, but from your brain power. Some of the dumbest people I know live in Texas. And
Stop it.
You fall into
Take
that category because you guys won't leave. You know that it's going to be this hot every year.
Yeah.
All the people from your side of the earth are moving here. So what does that tell you?
Well, I'm not
It's the
saying
greatest place
California
on
is
earth.
much better. But they just know that we can come from California and conquer Texas with like the snap of a finger.
Yeah, but see, this place gets you ready for when you go to hell in the afterlife, because you're like, "Ooh, it's cool. It ain't so bad here."
I will admit, if I didn't do that training camp down in Dallas, Austin, I don't think I would have done as well during the race in at Starvation. That was really necessary.
That makes a huge difference. I tell a lot of people they want to do the New York City Marathon. I'm like, come down here for like a month before you go do that race, and you get there and it's like 50 to 60 degrees cooler.
Oh yeah, heat training
easily crush that marathon with the temps.
Yeah. Hunter, answer some of these comments.
I haven't really
defend your first place title from the previous year and know that you're going to perform well. Oh wait, all right, never mind. I thought that was a question. Sorry.
The withdraw and protect Leslie.
Sorry, I don't know what that was. You're going to Vegas
from the games.
You're going to Vegas, right?
Not going to perform well after the death. I don't really know what this guy's trying to say. He said I died?
No, he's talking about the people that aren't in the games right now. They withdrew because they just wanted to protect themselves. They knew they weren't going to get it first, so they pulled out.
Ooh. I don't know about that. You know, my favorite first place person ever in the history of the CrossFit Games is Ben Smith. He came in and randomly won the CrossFit Games before Matt Frazier fully got his shit together. And then no one's ever heard from Ben Smith ever again. Like, to say that you won the CrossFit Games as a male, there's only 4 people that have ever, I guess, in recent history, it's been Rich Froning, Matt Frazier, Ben Smith, and Justin Medeiros. Those are really the names everybody knows about. And then Jeff Adler and a couple of guys earlier. But there's not many people in history that have ever done it. And it's best to just get that title and get the hell out of there. But Jeff Adler is going to keep on competing, I think. If you guys had to put bucks down right now, who's going to win the games?
It's HOT. What's his name? I got to look at the leaderboard.
Tia is going to win for the women for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, landslide. I'm trying to think of the men. Hody? What's the one?
You're thinking
HOT?
There's Vellner, there's Vikowski, there's Romanoff, there's Gerard.
No, Hody. It's Hody's his last name. No. Hody's his last name. I'll find it.
Did you see Ricky Gerard ran a 4:55 mile and smoked the rest of the field? That's not bad.
Dude, I am skeptical. Is that legit? You think? I know it's on a track, but there's a track in Dallas that I've run that's 0.2 miles and it's right around a football field and looks like a
I know what track you're talking about too.
CrossFit's kind of iconic for this, but I doubt you're going to put it on a track like that. Like they can't take the bad PR at this point because they did they did that with a 5K last year.
Well, this year they said it was a 3.5 mile run before the swim, and there were people finishing in 20 minutes.
The run?
The run, yeah. Girls finishing in 20 minutes too. Isn't that what Tia did?
I mean, that would mean that she would really have to be running like straight up
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The math doesn't matter.
5:30 miles.
And what'd she run in the track event yesterday?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think the girls' times are very impressive. The slowest one was 6:30.
So,
but Ricky Garrard, what did he do in High Rocks? 103, something like that.
What about 103?
I was going to say 3.5
Ricky Garrard
miles
did a 103.
Is a 5:43 mile.
Yeah, I don't think she's doing that, to be honest. I don't think any of those guys are doing that. Because if you think about the 1 mile time, if you look at the best girls mile, I bet you the best girls mile is probably not under 5:40.
It was five. It was. There was someone ran like a 5:26 or something like that.
A girl did?
Yeah, a chick did. That was the fastest one.
Well, think about that. That same person didn't string out 3 miles only 15 seconds slower.
Exactly. That's why I'm like a little skeptical. The sun was down though. It was at night.
We were traveling around Europe all summer, and we were going to all these gyms and taking the bumper plates. And I was doing all these deadlifts, just feeling like an absolute fucking beast. And the numbers were massive. And then I went to an old school bodybuilding gym to go do the same exact lifts. And I had to take like 50 plus pounds off of every single lift. Like those steel plates are no joke. Like these bumper plates, like I have a feeling like the whole CrossFit industry basically made a decision. They all kind of just like wrote each other an email. They're like, make all the weights 10 to 15% lighter with these bumper plates.
Could have been the bar too.
Well, they are. Bumper plates are always 3 or 4 pounds off each.
A couple of things that people forget is when you use those bumper plates and then you've got a bar that flexes a lot, before you pull the weight off, you're getting quite a bit of range of motion into your lift, which helps. You use those crazy stiff bars and it stacks short.
Yeah,
the bar doesn't. You don't get as much flex, so you're lifting further.
These bars aren't moving any more than like half an inch to an inch in bend. It's not that much.
But you think about think about a deadlift, right? In your power band, if you were to raise up this much, like or stopping your squat and it just happens to be right before failure, that can be the difference between, green light on a lift and not.
Yeah, potentially. But a lot of the things I was looking at was like my bench press. Like bench pressing with those steel plates on. Dude, I was watching a video.
I swear they're heavier.
I was getting ready for this really heavy ass deadlift this morning. And I just started watching Ronnie Coleman videos. In an interview, he was talking about, like, yeah, man, the deadlift on the ground, that's a lot of gravity. And then you put the squat on your bar, it's just a little bit less gravity. And I should have thought about that. That's way lighter. It's not close to the ground. And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, man, he knows something that we don't, which is why he won so many times.
I know, dude. But just to think that like 3 feet in distance off the ground is the gravity that's going to make a big difference. I was like, am I an idiot or is he an idiot? So I was having a damn good time with it. If you want to get strong, just watch old Ronnie Coleman videos.
Yeah, they're so good. I love how he eats like 5 meals a day, and there's like an entire chicken on each plate.
Yeah, when there's like an infamous clip when he's a cop and he's just sitting in the eating room, the break room, and he just throws white rice, like 5 pieces of chicken. He's just lathering it up in barbecue sauce. He goes,
sweet baby rice.
What is it?
Good old chicken. Yeah, it's sweet baby rice.
Dude, really, I think I could destroy the whole world off of just like high fructose corn syrup, barbecue sauce, chicken, and rice.
That's Ronnie Coleman diet, 100%.
Dude,
I'm done with rice. I'm banning rice from my diet.
Why?
What?
I don't know. I'm a sweet potato guy now. I don't like. I'm all bought into the whole folate thing.
Hey man, jasmine rice for me, and then have you ever had the Japanese sweet potatoes? They're purple on the outside, white in the middle.
Mm-mm.
Oh my dude.
All
They
right,
are so
Jap
much
sweet
better than
potatoes.
the
I'm gonna look
orange.
those up.
Yeah, so much better than the orange or yams. The
Okay, I'm gonna
sweetness
try
is a
that.
little different. It's so good.
I have been eating venison like a madman though. Ever since I came up
Ooh.
to Malibu Hunter, I eat venison like 3 times a day.
Where are
I
you
even mix it
getting
in my
it?
eggs.
Why don't you want folate?
You go listen to the Joe Rogan thing with Peter Attia. He talks
Peter
about
Attia?
Attia. I don't know how to say his name, but I don't know. You tell Parker. You probably know more about this than me.
Dude, I
I,
just don't. I
I'm
don't
eating
trust
jasmine
that.
rice. I love it. Organic white jasmine rice, clean it, and then cook it properly. That's your measuring method right there.
Nobody got time for that. I don't like to clean. I barely even clean like berries and stuff. I
I
eat
just take that
blueberries.
microwavable bag of rice, dude. That's it.
I know. I know. I was eating that thing, but then I listened to this deal and I was like, you know what?
What is he
I like.
saying? What is he saying the issue is? It's
He's just saying that
inflammatory.
there's chemicals that farmers in the U.S. use to. Someone hopefully in the comments knows more about this than me. I'm going to sound like an idiot, but there's
Yeah,
chemicals that
just
they're
buy
using to
clean.
mass produce rice and in the
Yeah, but
U.S. that
When
isn't
you
allowed
buy
in places like Italy and
beef,
whatnot.
yeah, if
yeah,
you buy
that's the
beef,
fucking truth. But that's every single thing that you eat, man. Like if you especially think the thing that freaks me out the most is the water you're getting in your pipes. To think that these pipes that you're getting
I
your
know.
water from, they're not just full of just leaking iron and just like lead and shit like that. You're an idiot. And
I'm
then to
not
think
drinking that water now too. Remember the last podcast? I was drinking Mountain Valley water.
that's so
this
smooth.
phone on
Sparkling.
you, this little radiation tablet that you have near your dick every day that's just stuffed between your legs when you're driving,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get where people think, unless you live in the woods and you literally catch your food and you're probably 100 miles away from every a major city, you're getting toxins in your body at all times at an extremely high level. Dude, you live in Houston, dude. You are on the verge of death.
I'm controlling the controllables, okay? And
Rice and folates, big tough
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. Jasmine rice ain't it, bro.
Anybody who
dude,
gets their sources of information from the Joe Rogan podcast deserves to walk off the plank and sink to the bottom of the ocean.
you're telling me it doesn't bother you're telling me it doesn't bother you that you buy rice in a box is in a plastic bag that you throw in a hot box and you cook it for 3 minutes in a plastic bag they say is microwavably safe. You're telling me that doesn't bother you a
I
little
cook my,
bit?
Oh
I
no,
cook
dude!
my
I've had
rice
to
in a pot.
disconnect that part of my body and my brain because I recognize that if you just go and look, like, dude, this is my just the past day of worth of eating. Do you see all that plastic that I produce? Everything that I eat is surrounded by plastic. This is glass, I guess. The coffee I just got is in plastic. The gum that I'm chewing on is in a plastic container. Like you're just having this stuff in your body at all times.
I know.
And
I'm trying to eliminate what I can.
yeah, dude, it's a losing battle. It freaks me
Well,
the fuck out. I will move into the woods probably 5 years from now and have a duck farm and a couple like cows and
ooh,
sheep and stuff like that, and I'll be good.
I'll join you on
sheep,
the duck farm. I'm in
lamb.
on that.
Get some sheep and some lambs. Lamb.
Not much to eat if you paid that much attention. What does that mean? These fucking weirdos.
You have not much.
Have you
to
guys?
eat.
Did you guys watch the 1500 meter? Probably the greatest 1500 meter
Oh,
race in
dude,
the
that
history of
finish!
time.
I
All
swear that
time.
hold up, he could have hit the record. But when he had to slow up on the pass, when
And
he
Pat
got
pushed him in
boxed
front.
in,
Yeah.
that right there was enough.
All
I just
right.
cannot believe, man. You got to think. So Ingebrigtsen's holding world record pace for 3 3/4 laps. And then then all of a sudden Kerr starts to go. And Ingebrigtsen can't respond because he's already gassed himself at this pace. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, to be right behind world record pace and go through people and get the Olympic record, the amount of horsepower you got to have in your legs at that point is insane.
Yeah, he
Do
really pushed
you
it.
think you can attribute that to like being from the States and always running the mile or just growing up more regularly running 1600 meters than 1500?
I mean,
Because
I
like I'll tell
guess
you
that's
in golf,
A hun- a hun-
in
a
golf
100 meters is a
we
huge
always
difference.
we and well I know but I just think like whenever we play the Ryder Cup against the Europeans, it's a team play and they're very used to playing teen golf growing up. They always do, and they always beat us on their turf, like very badly. And I'm just thinking, like, if you grow up in the United States, you're running miles more than you're running, Ks. I don't know.
Well,
Is it
it's
enough to
interesting.
make the
In the
difference
last
there?
3 Olympics, 2 Americans have won. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
More comfortable running the mile.
Centrowitz.
Yeah.
But dude, the Americans were not good for a while.
No.
Like, what's with white dudes all of a sudden? How the fuck are white guys crushing the 1500 meters so much? Like, it used to be Gaber Lassie, Mo Farah, Bekele, like these just
Yeah,
crazy.
and Farah always looked like he was gliding. He never looked like he was actually racing anybody.
Dude, when did white dudes get so fit? I'm pumped.
What are you talking about?
Dude,
he's making a joke
Awesome.
about the Olympics, about how we were always much, much slower.
Do you think we have any white dude that's going to be able to?
Fam.
All right, bud. See ya. Do you think we have any white dudes that are going to be able to hang in the sprinting? Like, we had the 400-meter hurdler guy, but do you think any white dudes got the guns to get out there?
For 100-meter?
100 or 2? When was the last time we saw a white guy in the 100 or the 200-meter? How many Olympic cycles ago?
I don't know, but my favorite of all time was Michael Johnson when he had them gold shoes on. So,
yeah.
The 100 or 2, man, I doubt it. And then the 400, I remember Jeremy Warner. He was after Michael Johnson.
When was the last time a white male competed the Olympic
100-meter
final? Well, in 1980, it was the most recent white male was a Scottish Alan Wells in 1980 Olympics. It looks like.
Did you put it for U.S. only in the search?
No, Alan Wells was Scottish.
No, I know, but for the U.S. though, you should narrow it down for like Team USA.
Oh, I don't even know how to fucking do that, dude. You know what's really confusing? Go try to find the Olympic results. Try to go find the Olympic results for any sport right now. It is super confusing. Like, I sat there and I was typing everything in, and I'm just like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't. That's weird.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to like find a bunch of it on good coverage on like YouTube and stuff like that. You can't get anything. It sucks.
Fucking hey, dude. What have you been up to, man? I haven't seen you in a while. What are you doing race-wise?
Nothing, dude. This year has literally, like that meme, that video that I sent y'all where that dude gets double kicked in the face. That was 2024, and that was me getting kicked in the face. So I'm just trying to figure out how to rebuild my body.
Compartment syndrome in your legs?
Yeah. So the whole thing with the veins in my legs, trying to get that fixed, has been a complete nightmare, and makes me just realize why I hate all insurance companies around the world and the medical industry.
Yeah, dude. If I were you, I don't know where you're going to do the research, but I would just basically go to somewhere like Mexico, or like, people get dental work and hair work done in Turkey.
Yeah.
Like you want to go to places like that where they basically have some of the best people, but don't want to go through the insurance companies, and you can just pay cash.
Yeah. Here it was $8,000 out of pocket. And my insurance company told me, we won't cover any of that. And I'm like, but it's not cosmetic. And they were like, yeah, but it's not life threatening. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So they were like, you can upgrade your insurance level. And then they told me, oh, well, it's going to be $900 extra a month for the level of insurance you're going to need for us to cover that surgery. And then you have a $2,000 deductible, and you have to keep that level of insurance for at least 6 months. And I'm like, I'm paying for the surgery.
Dude, you want to know something crazy? I haven't had health insurance since 2018. and my family is all doctors. I think the medical industry is such a fucking scam. Like,
Oh, it's
I
so
don't
stupid.
give a shit. If I broke an arm, I
Yeah.
would just go to a country where I could basically pay $20,000-$30,000 and they'll just fix it rather
No,
than
you wouldn't
having
even
to
have to
go
pay that
through
much.
whatever the fuck it is, dude. I don't care. The amount of money that I've saved, because they were trying to charge me $1,100 a month for the coverage that I wanted.
Oh,
And
yeah, it's crazy.
I was like, and then I looked at the numbers of deductibles and stuff like that. I just like, or I could just pay cash.
Yeah,
And I like,
it's
if I
crazy.
get cancer and I have to go through all that stuff,
So be it.
fuck it.
Dude, the reason why I have it right now is for my son, for like catastrophic. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Like, I'm not even worried about me. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty crazy. Like, I mean, there are definitely some countries, like I would love to live in some of like the Northern European countries and setups they've had. Like, I know that the healthcare system in the UK is supposed to be absolutely fantastic, but now all of a sudden shit's just going downhill and it's going backwards. So there's not even any real situation where I would trust, other than kind of like third world countries with people that are willing to just get paid under the, like, privately,
Yeah.
that I would trust
They
anymore.
have a lot of people from outside of the countries. Where was a buddy of mine? Was it South America or Turkey? He just went and had all his teeth redone. And it looks phenomenal. And
Yeah.
he's like, dude, that would have gotten me like a cavity fixed here in the States.
Yeah. How much did you spend?
It wasn't much. I was actually shocked. What do you say? It was like 12 grand, 10
Hey,
grand.
dude. Think about having to go to the dentist all the time, every single time you show up. I really just
That was
can't
his whole
find.
trip.
My brother
That was
and
like
I
his
just went
medical
down.
and the stay.
Oh, yeah. So my brother just had to go to the doctor. He went to the doctor 3 times, and it's nothing major, but they can't answer any of his problems whatsoever. And he's gone to
Yeah.
doctors, all the best specialists. They're like, we don't know. And I was like, well, get fucked. I'm not paying for this. Literally every single time, like, I've gone to a doctor, they've told me to go get surgery. So this is when I really quit. 2018, I rolled my ankle. I was getting ready for TMX the world title, like the world's hardest mile. I rolled my ankle, snapped some of the ligaments at a Spartan race. It was the last stadium race that I ever did. I was winning this thing. I jumped off of a staircase, snapped and rolled my ankle. I go to this guy and he's like, you need to have surgery. You're not going to walk for about 2 months and you're not going to be able to run for a minimum of 6 months. And I was like, I don't think so. So I went and talked to some physical therapists. I started working with this guy who's the physical therapist for all the speed skaters in the US team.
Uh-huh.
I worked with him 2 to 3 days a week for 6 weeks straight, and I won TMX. And I fucking smoked everybody. And I still have the boot in my house just to remind me that don't fucking listen to those medical doctors. They can suck my balls. Like, I absolutely hate the medical industry. And
well, there's so few doctors out there that actually care about helping their patients.
yeah.
Everything
There's also,
else,
by the way, a bonus structure when you go into hospitals based off of when you go into the emergency care room, where based off your salary is based off the way that you prescribe people. Like, oh, you should probably go get an x-ray. Oh, you should probably do this. You should probably do that.
Oh, yeah.
Your payment scale.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just making referrals and royalties in their paycheck over and over and over and over. And it sucks because there's like a lot of it that's like a necessary evil to help some people, but there's so much of it where I'm like, why does this cost this much? This is crazy.
Dude, you know what I do is I just lift super fucking heavy weights so that when someone tries to break my bone,
And
they
eat
break
white
themselves.
rice.
That's
Kyle.
right, dude. I'm pumped full of folate, Kyle, you little bitch. I've just reached this point where, I don't know, maybe there's later on in life, I'm going to have to probably figure this out. But at this point, I don't deal with it. I even crashed my bike, and I could have been at the point where I needed to have surgery, but I only went to a couple physical therapists. Doctors were begging me to get x-rays and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, get the fuck out of my face. And I'm fine now. I still feel a little bit of pain in there, but it's because I just did some damage. But other than that, dude, bench is bigger than ever. Heaviest bench I've ever had to date. Within 6 months of having that terrible bike accident that you probably would have done surgery on me for. I'm amazed. My back, dude, my deadlift's heavier than ever before. And I actually had hurt my rotator cuff, and that's all that back, back structure.
All that. Yeah.
You know what I did?
Contraction during that.
Really smart rehab. No cuts, no They didn't cut me open. They didn't put me on different kinds of medicines and things like that. And I'm a fucking beast right now.
Yeah, Erin, my wife, she's a chiropractor, and she's like, I will tell somebody, like, no, look, there's no way around this. Like, you've got to go get this fixed through surgery. But she's like, do you know how many times I've had people come to me in a last ditch effort with all their scans and everything? And we're like, no, you're not even close to needing surgery. She's like, just rehab it.
Fuck, dude.
And they don't get surgery. They just rehab it. And they're like, oh my God, I just saved myself a surgery.
Can you help me out for a second? Go check out this Ryan Shea guy was a fucking badass runner. Can you help me try to find any of the Olympic results? Like, how do you find the exact Olympic event, Olympic results?
Men's.
Okay. How do I find the results now? Oh, canoe.
I keep finding schedule and results, but then I'm only seeing schedules. Okay, here we go. I might have found something.
Canoe sprint. Men's kayak 1000. Let's see. Ooh, the Czech Republic. Oh yeah, this is the Hungary. The Czech Republic won both golds in the Olympic, and the men's 1000 kayak and the men's 1000 canoe. What the fuck are those guys doing there that makes them such beasts?
I don't know, but I'm just thinking like the form and how the speed that rowers like in a scull produce.
Well, the guy who's got the world record, he's actually more buff than everybody else. So I think it's 100% a horsepower thing because I'm still going to paddle my way to the Olympics. So I've just been doing tons of this work, just like real fucking strong. You know what I've been doing that's really been helping out my lifts, I think, more than anything, is I've been doing crazy amounts of core work before I start my lifts.
Priming.
Yeah, I've never done that before. Like really, really heavy single arm kettlebells and like putting kettlebells like here and doing like rotations and open myself up and kind of like really pushing myself.
You know what overhead. I love is kettlebell windmills.
Oh, those things? Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it'll tear your core up.
Yeah, I like it. I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to break all the records for my lifting this year. And I was the weakest I had been in years back 6 months, like 3-4 months ago, just before my injury. And now I'm going to try to get my lifts all the way up. And I'm going to do it through the least amount of lifting and the most amount of core work. I dropped down my volume. I worked on my core and it's changed everything.
Isn't it crazy how when you keep a volume down, it's like you're not digging your body deep into the well. And then so you're able to recover so much easier. Like you can lift more frequently, but like reduce the total volume.
For endurance, I think I have to pick it up as much as I possibly can.
No, for strength, for just pure lifting.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it done. So before we get out of here, what's up next for you? Because I do want to pay attention.
Well, funny enough, I don't understand High Rocks, their back end department. So I go to the website and I'm getting because we have a bunch of people racing in Dallas. So I go and I buy a ticket for the men's age group. States men's open, like men's division, the whole way through registration, the whole way through. Okay, checking my thing. Okay, name, this and that, men's division, yada yada. Put in my birthday, everything. My receipt says pro women's.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I just bought a pair of shoes off of Amazon, and they sent me the totally wrong size. Some things just get fucked up.
Well, this happened in the past, and I've even had other people, like at the race. They're like, "Yeah, dude, I'm having to get my ticket changed. I registered for this, and it's saying I'm in this division or whatever, or it's saying that I'm in the 20 to 24 group, but I'm." 30 to 34 or something like that. And I messaged them and they're like, oh, but we're sold out. And I'm like, the men's division was not sold out when I got my ticket.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and then go ahead.
I think the thing that I've recognized growth is a dream come true, but infrastructure to support growth is the most important thing, because what will happen is you'll die out. It's happened with every single sporting event I've ever competed in. They start to grow like crazy. They don't support the infrastructure. You piss off the current customers. You're not great at capturing new customers. And then next thing you know, you just end up in a really tough position where they end up getting locked out and nobody wants to participate anymore. High Rocks definitely needs to invest in their customer service again. And it's tough because, they're growing so fast, but if they give themselves a little bit more energy in that department, you'll make people like yourself a lot happier.
And it's so simple because, like, I messaged customer service and they said, "Oh, sorry, the first go around. Oh, sorry, we don't have any spots in the pro men's." And I replied back. I said, "I didn't say I want to be in the pro men's. I said I registered for the men's division. This is my age group, and it's put me into the pro women's field." I'm like, how does the whole thing just switch? Not just classes for the men's side, but flips me over to the female side. And they're like, "Well, we can't do anything. Would you like us to cancel your ticket?" And I'm like, "No, don't cancel my ticket. I paid for a damn spot to race."
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
I just kept it, and I'm just showing up in Dallas with a female pro, and then I'm just going to have them fix it on the spot.
They'll probably do that.
So
are you racing individuals open?
Yeah, just regular. I just figured I'd go out there. This year has been the least fit I think I've been in like 10 years.
You gotta slow down, dude. Gotta slow down before you speed up.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm having to like restart and reset. Like even running for an hour right now feels so hard.
Is it on your legs or is it on what? Like, what's the issue?
Yeah, it's that vein inside my leg. So it just they'll swell up and then they just won't. They don't recover. So much inflammation will get pumped through. Like yesterday and today, they've actually been great. And I'll have like a week where I'm like, oh, okay, they feel great. And then all of a sudden, boom, swelling, mass inflammation, can't recover. So my fitness has just been doing this all year. Just
fuck, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever. That means 2025 is going to be lit. Every now and then you have a year like this. And then when it finally kicks back off, it's just to the moon.
Yeah, brother. Well, I may be racing in Dallas. I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I got to bounce out of here because it's literally getting to the 11th hour and I have to be somewhere 11th. But, dude, it was good seeing your face. Everybody who tuned in, Hannah, if I were you, dude, just go to housetraining.com, sign up there, get into our group, and we'll teach you guys how to actually train for the sport of high rocks. If anybody who's paying attention to this and you guys want to learn how to actually compete as an athlete and train as an athlete rather than show up and get the shit kicked out of you, go to housetraining.com. And if you want to get massive and have the best athletic experience, I would go to Builder Sports or Builder International. That's all supplements that I've created for this line of sport, and I'm addicted. I've been getting bigger and badder and stronger than ever. Strength X2.
Hydro is my favorite, though. Dude, love it, bro. I literally travel with it. Like, just even for regular electrolytes. When I'm on the plane, I'm traveling, I look like a Coke dealer because I have Ziploc bags full of it with my scooper in it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm so sad. I'm back in the States, and I have not had the United States flavor in such a long time, and I miss it, dude. I take that, and I blend it up in the morning with an ice shaker and chug that thing down, and then during the heat of the day I have it. It's like my crack. The UK flavors are amazing, but I specifically designed the flavor in the United States to just tickle my fancy. They don't even have those kind of flavors over there in the UK, but we got a lot of stuff coming up in the pipeline, new products, new dreams come true. But guys, go check out housetraining.com or Builder Sports, Builder International. I appreciate you guys supporting. Parker, it's always good seeing your face.
You too, buddy.
And CrossFit, keep your head up. I'll see you guys soon.